This is all Chief. All the body work and stuff is gonna start after he's running and driving. I gotta get a wiring harness. I have to get S10 headers. I also have to get throttle body, some fuel rails, and a couple adapters to hook up the throttle cable and the kick down cable. And then that's pretty much it. I got my stash of parts in here. I'm not going to use those. They just too close for comfort. They're like within that close to the they're actually like within that close to the frame, so no thanks. I can use the stock radiator. It's new anyway. I've got these eBay transmission lines. Maybe I just don't have them tightened up all the way or something, but I noticed a little bit of dripping from down there at the bottom. You can kind of see where they go in the trans down there. Maybe I just have to do Teflon tape. I didn't do that yet, so I'm gonna try that. And I don't know if it's leaking from like the screw-in fitting or where the hose meets the fitting, but whatever. They were like $30 for some really nice braided lines, which I needed new ones anyway, so this was a much better option. The transmission's a turbo 350, but it was rebuilt, so it's probably got like 200 miles on it. Taking this fan off, I'm gonna use these factory fans out of the Suburban, the heavy duty ones. And then I was gonna do like Corvette, all that other shit, and put it down below, move the alternator, and that's just a lot of extra work, extra money I don't want to put into this thing. Just want to get it running, driving for now. Everything for the suspension I pretty much already have. I just haven't finished it. I still have to C-notch the back and put new shocks on the rear. That's why it's so low. It's only gonna, I'll probably put it up 1 inch and put it to an 8-inch drop in the rear instead of a 9. And then the front here is just gonna be a 6. So I'm hoping to keep the exhaust kind of high and tight. I'm gonna do an X pipe at the rear and then have that X pipe go off into 2 Y pipes like a Corvette. So I hope it sounds pretty cool. I don't know, it's literally 50-50. It could be worth the time and effort, or it could sound like shit, or just absolutely normal. But I have a feeling it'll sound pretty rad, so that's gonna be the plan for this. It's already got a nice full 2.5-inch exhaust on it. Let me see if I can get up under there. Nice thing about these trucks is all the metal that's bad, the whatchamacallit, the rocker panels and all that shit, it's all really cheap. It's not the cleanest, but it'll do, man. All that shit's just for me being messy, spraying fucking PB, all that shit, spilling shit everywhere. It's getting there. Not bad for a backyard setup. So this one down here is the 302-3, the eBay one. It was like 148 bucks. You can see I've got a solid, let me see if I got a tape measure back here. I do. It's like almost 3 inches of clearance. Yep, 3 inches of clearance from the front subframe here, K-man, whatever the fuck you want to call that. This thing. And clearance on the side here. Let's see. So you can see from the side here, the subframe clears that by several inches. At least at the front there, it still tilts back, but ultimately this is lower than this point, so we're good. I'm gonna end up cutting the exhaust and bringing it up, running it kind of straight down, and gonna use some S10 headers on this. Okay, so you see the back, don't mind this. The back is dumped. the front's gonna match. So I've just yet to do any of that while I'm doing my swap, just because you gotta get under this thing 50 times. I know I should have cleaned it before I put it in, but I didn't even think about it. So one thing I do have to change over, because I'm just keeping it drive-by cable, I'm taking this throttle body off, and it doesn't have the bracket for the cables themselves. Actually, I'm going to test it right now to see, do I have the length? No. So now I know I need to order a new throttle cable. The kick down, where's that guy? Here it is. Yeah, that'll reach. Okay, so just the throttle cable, I suppose. Nice thing, if you know, surf around on eBay, Amazon, the throttle bodies are a little more expensive, but I'm super cheap. This is the third engine in this truck since I've owned it. The other one is right there, the straight six. Ran good, but that thing was dog fucking slow. And the truck, I'm just gonna look cool enough where you can't be slow like that. So this thing, it's going. I found the one on Amazon, or excuse me, on eBay for 36 bucks. It's the drive-by cable. It's already got like a little hook deal, or like a little ball deal that should connect to this pretty nice. And then, yeah, I have to get a bracket. It's like 16 bucks. And then I have to do fuel rails. Change these over so I can run the Corvette fuel cell system with the internally regulated fuel filter at the rear, 58 PSI. So I don't need this return line here. So those guys are going. Luckily, those things are also like 45, 50 bucks if you surf around. And then, yeah, I'm gonna go with also the eBay wire harness. It's like 99 bucks. The T56, you know, the manual transmission harness, because this isn't an electronically controlled transmission. And then, honestly, the biggest purchase is gonna be the computer, because I did some paint work, trade work for this engine, and the truck, I've already bought it and had it. Transmission was in it. I didn't go through the time changing all this over. I mean, it looks somewhat cleaner compared to the rest. I'm assuming somebody put a newer water pump on it at some point. Yeah, I'm still gonna pressure wash all this, so don't mind it. 3 exhaust studs are broken in this. I had to do the trick where I welded the nut on it and they came right out, so that was nice. Otherwise, I'm running the eBay motor mounts. I did, instead of trimming that little, like, I think they call it a boss, instead of trimming that boss off, I just, you can see, I just kind of cut the motor mount itself and trimmed it. I don't know, just, they were already out of the truck, so I'd rather cut on a $6 motor mount as opposed to the engine, or grind on it, whatever, just personal preference. And yeah, I'm yet to go through and clean up. This is the only part that's making me nervous. I'm not really nervous, I just haven't done it. Luckily my uncle's an electrician, so I'm gonna be FaceTiming him a lot. Sorry, Travis. But all of this, I want to keep the wiring for the AC because I still have the components over there. I'm not going to use that pump. I'm probably just going to put a newer one up here at some point and just run the lines right to it. But I don't know what of all this factory wiring has to come out. It's, like I said, it's an 87, so it's the first year they did the fuel injected TBI on it. And then when I got it, it had a 400 carbureted small block in it, so they, yeah, all this stuff is the wiring from the headlights. And yeah, that's really the only concern I have, is this is my first time wiring a vehicle, and it's just been gone through. There's some jury rig stuff. The truck's locked right now, otherwise I'd go in there, but yeah, all this stuff's kind of in the way. Stay tuned, I suppose. Thanks.